best buck that I've seen in this trip. It's our second trip here. I'm looking for a shooter buck. Yes.
Hi, welcome to Eastmans Hunting TV. On today's episode, we're heading to Big Sky Country with EBJ staffer Jordan Breshears. Jordan is going to be hunting big mule deer bucks with his bow and arrow rig. It's an early fall hunt and the weather can get a little dicey. But you know, when that wind kicks up, if you have a buck spotted, they'll hunker down. It can open up some great spot and stalk opportunities where you can get close enough to get a weary old buck with your bow and arrow. So let's not waste any time. Let's get out there into the wide open country after big, mature mule deer bucks with a bow and arrow. Jordan isn't just looking for a mule deer buck. He also has an elk tag in his pocket and will take a close look at any bulls he happens to turn up along the way.
Less than 2 weeks with the kids for a youth hunt, so that's the kind of bucks that the kids will be looking to shoot, so it's perfect. Meanwhile, they spook towards our elk, so we're hoping that doesn't mess anything up, but we'll get over this next knob and find out. This week, we're bow hunting Big Sky Country with EBJ staffer Jordan Breshears. With 2 tags in his pocket, he's combing the landscape looking for an opportunity at a trophy elk or a big buck mule deer.
was pretty sweet. We had them at 45 yards, but there was a little hiccup there. But they weren't what we're after. I thought that rubbed off buck was a little bigger, but he's not quite. They're about like 150 range. Need another year on them and they'll be stompers. We heard that bugle somewhere down in here, so the wind's predominant like this. We're gonna work our way back this direction and just start picking these canyons apart and try to find them.
That afternoon, Jordan glasses up a group of bucks, and one of them looks to have some potential.
The bucks are right up in this bottom right here. That's a good buck. We're gonna go back and just the next draw over and peek over on them and try to catch them as they head up into the timber. So we're gonna back around and get parallel with them. See if we can get in front of them, have them feed right into us, hopefully. Try a different technique this morning. We are gonna go in after elk. We're backed up for a whole day if we need to. And we'll just see if we cross mule deer at the same time because we're not finding any shooter bucks out in the flats. And I've already seen about 3 or 4 mule deer, so we have a good opportunity for that as well. As long as the mosquitoes don't eat us alive, we might have something happen. Best buck that I've seen in this trip. It's our second trip here. We're up here this morning, it's windier and I'll get out on the other side of this knob, and we've been spotting all morning, and I decided to check out the backside here. Some pretty open country. Sure enough, there's really good buck. They're feeding their way. There's a big bank right behind them. There's no other cover, so they're going to end up wanting to bed on a north-facing portion of that cut in that bank there. So it's as good as it gets, and it's windy. So we'll have the option to have some cover noise for a stalk. So Lord willing, gosh, that would be great, Lord willing. Shot a nice antelope buck last night. He's hanging at camp. If we could get a buck and or a bull on the ground, we'd be smiling and looking for a sheer buck. Yes, thank you, Lord. Wish you were here with me, Wyatt. So we bedded those bucks this morning. We watched them for at least an hour, hour and a half, and there's no other terrain around them that appears to be better, so we're thinking they're gonna stay. And now we're just making our play. We got about a mile to hike in the wrong direction so we can get behind them and then walk that rim down right on top of them there. We just gotta take our time and sock up and hopefully pull it off at that point. So he's a good buck, I'm hoping. Smoking buck. I hit him just a little bit. Funny. He was bedded down, and I tried to slice through him, and I only got half of him. He's standing over there like he's gonna bunch up and drop, but I'm gonna have to back out here and give him some time. Oh my gosh.
This is Eastmans, where bowhunter Jordan Breshears just loosed an arrow at a big public land mule deer buck.
Alright, so we've given him a few hours. He got back up and he walked into this brush here. Not sure if he's still alive or not, but I saw him bed down or disappear. So we're just gonna pick our way across this ridge and look down into that brush and hopefully find. Wouldn't have thought we'd have been here with mule deer in front of us. We've been chasing deer around quite a bit. 2 weeks ago we were up here. This morning Travis and I were spotting, looked back behind the knob and bam, there's this giant buck. Probably, I think it was 1,500 yards. I ranged him with the binoculars, and we put our shoes back on and started working around, poking over, and sure enough, the third little ledge we poked over, there was 2 little bucks. And I was like, just poked a little bit farther, and bam, just right there, baby. It's like a dream. So we got it. Oh, the Lord blessed us with a great buck, and I'm very humbled. Public land, Montana, over-the-counter tag, and we've just shot a stud. So thanks for joining us on this week's episode. And just remember, fair chase is the only way to hunt and take trophy big game.